Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. For today's lesson, I will brief you about the new format of the SPM 2021 for paper 2 section A. For my previous video, I had discussed with you the paper 1 sample or items question for paper 1 for the SPM exam. So today I will focus on paper 2 section A, and maybe in my coming video I will prepare the video teaching on paper 2 section B and section C, which are quite challenging. Alright, so for today's video teaching, I will focus on a few questions for section A. For your information, your scope of the SPM exam is from syllabus of Form 1 to Form 5. So you need to be well prepared for your basic mathematics from Form 1 to Form 5. The most important one is your Form 3 basic, which is very important. Alright, okay, so I'm sure everyone can do well in your coming SPM exam 2021. So let's have earlier preparation for the coming exam. So mathematics is actually a subject that you need to practice consistently. Alright, so this is the right time for you to practice and keep on practice so that you will be excellent in your mathematics. Right, you will get A+, I'm sure, if you are serious and you start from now on. Okay, so let's go through together. Right, let's get started with the class. So today we will do discussion on paper 2 section A for maths. Okay, SPM exam 2021, which is your new format of the SPM exam, right? So alright, so the section A looks quite easy because it's actually testing you the basic from Form 1 to Form 5. Alright, so let's have a look of the latest exam format from the Lembaga Peperiksaan. So it start next year 2021, and the code still the same 1449/2 for mathematics paper 2. For your information, the exam question will be in bilanguage. So the BM version will be leading. That means you will see the BM wording first, followed by English version. So but it's okay, we need to well versed in both language, right? Diagram 1 actually shows the composite solid. It's a composite solid formed by a combination of a cube and a right prism. So this one I think you learn in Form 1 or Form 2 or Form 3, I'm not sure. It's a composite solid, means it's a combined solid. So you have a cube and you have a right prism. So I'm sure they ask you about the volume, right? So okay, so the volume for the cube is actually just take the size, right? The size times size times side, or you can say side cube. Alright, because it's a cube. Alright, for prism, okay, we have the A times H. We will go to prism after this. So let's highlight the volume for the cube. We have to observe the shape of the solid, okay, which is cube. So all the sides are actually equal length. So I highlighted in blue color, and I'm going to find the volume for the cube. So volume for the cube is very simple, isn't it? It's just you take the 1.5 meter is very important, as I highlighted to you. The unit nowadays become very important for new syllabus. Alright, because as I say, if you know how to apply the mathematics, units is very significant to us. 1 meter is actually very much different with 1 centimeter, right? So we have to write the unit correctly and accurately. So 1.5 times 1.5 times 1.5, you will get answer in fraction or decimal, up to you, but preferable answer in fraction. Alright, so the best answer should be mixed fraction, 3 and 3/8, or maybe you would like to give answer in decimal. It's okay, but make sure you round it off to at least 4 significant figure. So it's 3.375 cubic meter, but that is only for cube. Alright, we want the volume for the composite solid, so we have to take the volume of the prism. Okay, let's calculate the volume of prism before we add it to the volume of the cube. So for prism, we always need to identify these we so-called as cross section area. Cross section area are the two faces, they are uniform. Okay, you have to identify two faces that are actually identical. It's just like the twin brother and sister, they are equal, alike. Okay, so these two faces, the one that I highlight in red color, I label as A, they are actually so-called as cross section area, because only these two faces are actually identical, or we call as uniform cross section area, right? So now we are going to calculate the volume for the prism. Alright, so we will actually identify the distance between the two area that I highlighted in red color. That two area, okay, are cross section area, and the distance between them is called as D, or we call as height. So this height sometimes is a bit confused to you. It's actually the distance between the two faces, but we used to use a height. Alright, okay, so please bear in mind that it actually means a distance between the two cross section area. So the volume for the combined solid is actually, you have to calculate the volume for the cube first, which is 1.5 times 1.5 times 1.5 cubic meter. So then you use a calculator, you can write your answer in decimal, 3.375 cubic meter, or you can actually write in fraction, up to you. And then we need to calculate for the volume of the prism. So volume of the prism, the formula is A times the H, and the A here is actually the trapezium, right? So we will have to write 1/2. A is a shorter one. Let's see, the shorter one is, okay, so 1.5, longer one is 3.25. So we will plus the 2, so you can take 3.25 plus the 1.5. Okay, make sure you carry forward the measurement correctly. 3.25 plus 1.5 times the, okay, the H here is the actually the distance between the two parallel lines, which is 1.5 for the trapezium, and you have to times the 1.5 again for the distance between the two cross section area. Then only you press your calculator. Alright, so please remember that the trapezium, it comes with 1/2 A plus B with a height, right? So you actually have to aware that there are two heights. So these two heights are actually not the same. So 1/2 4.75 times 1.5 is the height for the trapezium, and 1.5 is the distance between the two faces of the cross section area. Are you clear? So many of the students will always ignore the last height because maybe they thought they already used one of the height, so there are actually two height there. Alright, so the answer is 5.3435, and you can write your answer in fraction if you want, or you can use in decimal, but I advise you to use fraction is better. So finally you add up the two volume. Okay, so I try to write the answer in fraction is 171 over 32, or you can write as 511 over 32 is actually the answer in mixed fraction. So we have the volume for the prism, we have the volume for the cube, and the total volume is actually the volume for the combined solid. So you just add up the two, which is equivalent to 511 over 32 plus the just now the answer, which is 3 over 8, right? Okay, so we will write the answer 3.375 plus 5.3435. Okay, or you can use the two fraction and add up, the answer will be the same. So finally your answer is 8.7188, or you can write your answer in fraction or mixed fraction. Alright, but make sure if you write in decimal, you must round off to the 4 significant figure. Alright, so as I say, we prefer answer in fraction. Okay, because if you write in fraction, you won't have to round off, and you won't be penalized if you round off wrongly. Alright, because sometimes you will overlook with a significant figure, so you will round off wrongly. So the best is you try to have a good habit, write your answer in fraction. So 27 over 8 plus just now the volume. So you total up the volume. Your answer is so you take 27 over 8 plus the 511 over 32. So your answer, you get this answer, which is 823 over 32, or you can give the answer in decimal, 8.7188. Alright, so this is the answer for one of the question in section A is a combined solid, so it looks like quite easy. So next we will proceed to question number 2. Is about the straight line. So when you have two parallel lines, you should know that you can actually obtain the gradient from one of the line given. So they can give you the gradient in terms of the equation, or maybe if they want to make the question easy, they will give you 2 points. But for this one, it seems like they didn't give you 2 points, so they will give you the equation of the straight line. Okay, one of the line, they should give you the equation, because they say both lines are two parallel lines, so it means the gradient are the same. So the equation of the PQ is was given the equation of the straight line, which is y equal to -2, x plus 7. So -2 is the gradient, because the equation is in general form, y equal to mx plus c. So we can read out the m equal to -2, right? So then we will write y equal to mx plus c, and we have the gradient, so we will use the gradient. Okay, substitute into the y equal to mx plus c, and we will use a point 97 so that we can find the c. So now you have to substitute 97 into the equation with the gradient -2, right, to find the c, the y-intercept for the line. So y is equal to negative 2x plus c. So your y is 7 and the x you substitute with a 9. Then the c can be found easily is 7 plus 18. So c is 25. Right, so your equation will be y equal to negative 2x plus 25. Alright, so this is concerning the straight line. Now let's see the next question. I'm sure after they ask you to find the equation of the straight line, they will ask you to find the intercept, right? So in order to find the x-intercept, we always have to let y equal to 0. So let's go to the question. State the x-intercept of the equation of TR. So we have the equation of TR here. Y is negative 2x plus 25. So we are going to find the x-intercept for this equation. So for any of the x-intercept, the y coordinates must be 0. Let's have a look of the diagram. So you have the equation of TR with a 0.97, and then for this equation, if you extend the line until it cuts the x-axis, so that value, okay, the point where it cuts the x-axis, the x-coordinate is called as x-intercept. Alright, so at that point, basically the y is 0 because it lies on x-axis. So now we are going to substitute x0 into the equation just now. So that means the y will be 0 and the x is unknown that we are going to find, right? So let y equal to 0. So 0 is equal to negative 2x plus 25. So then if you simplify correctly, your x is 25 over 2, which is 12.5. So you can write your answer in wording like this. X-intercept is equal to 12.5. Okay, it's very important to state your answer in this way. X-intercept is equal to 12.5. If not, they will penalize your facts, which is not correct, because the x equal to 12.5 is not equivalent to the x-intercept equal to 12.5. Alright, remember what I say? Alright, so for the next one, we will discuss another question, which is about the mathematics reasoning that you just learned in Form 4, right? So let's have a look at the question. State the converse, converse for the following implication. Hence, state whether the converse is true or false. Do you still remember what it means by converse? For any statement, if you start with if P then Q, then the converse will be reversed if Q then P. Alright, so the P statement here is obviously M less than 8 and the Q is M less than 12. Okay, so if we want to write the converse, we will have to reverse the statement. So it becomes if M less than 12, then, okay, make sure you spell correctly, then M less than 8. Alright? Okay, so we have settled the converse, and then the question did mention state, okay, whether the converse is true or false, right? So the converse is false. Okay, so now let's discuss the other one, which is you're given the equation if y equal to mx plus c, then m is the gradient of the straight line, and you're given the conclusion. So based on the conclusion, you have to write the premise true, and because of the conclusion is not equal, so it means that you have to negate the statement. M is not the gradient of the straight line, right? So this is the answer for premise 2. Okay, so we have complete the math reasoning. So during the exam, you need to write your answer in the answer space. M is not the gradient of the straight line. Make sure you write the NOT. And then we'll discuss the next question, which is about the speed, time, and graph, right? And how to draw the speed time graph. Okay, so this one is distance time graph. So table 1 shows the movement of the objects that move between P and Q, and the distance of PQ was given 35 meters. So you have to analyze the time in minutes. Okay, from the 2 to 3, 2, 3, 4, you're having the equal value, which is 20. Alright, so now we try to understand the question first. Now let's have a look at the question B, calculate the speed. Alright, okay, let's start to figure out how to draw the distance time graph. So actually this is very simple. You just plot the point according to the table given, because they have gave you the axis for the time in minutes and also the distance in meter. So for the first point is 0, 0. Then we have 1, which is 10, and 2 we have 20, 3 also 20, right? Until 4 the distance are 20. So then we will use a point, okay, to label or mark on the Cartesian plane. So you have 3 points which are having 20 meters, and then for the second last, okay, the distance is 30, and then the final one is 25, right? Okay, so we will try to connect all the points, alright, using ruler. Okay, you have to use ruler to join all the points to form a straight line. Okay, it is not curved. Okay, I don't have a ruler with me, so I try my best to draw a straight line. Okay, now take out your ruler and try to join all the points using a ruler, so that you can see there's a horizontal part, right? Okay, so we have a different straight line for the distance time graph. We have horizontal. For this one, it looks like the line is going up and then horizontal and then going up and then turn down again. So make sure the line is a straight line. Okay, so use your ruler and then place at the point and join using a straight line. So it's quite simple for you to score full marks, I guess, because it's actually a straight line with the different shape. Maybe it's horizontal, or maybe the line is going up or going down. So after you plot the graph, you make sure the line is a straight line drawn by you using ruler. Okay, it's very important to highlight to you, all the line must be drawn using ruler. Okay, so let's have a look of what the question asking after plot the graph. So you're asking to find the gradient for the first 2 seconds. So the gradient is actually finding the 2 points from the graph, any 2 points from the graph, and then you can use the formula y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So it's quite simple. So the gradient is 20 minus 0, right, over 2 minus 0, but be careful with the unit. Okay, the unit is very important. It's meter per minute, but the question mentioned minute or not? No, the question say minute must be converted to second. So now you're having 10 meter per minute. Alright, that means 1 minute is 60 seconds, so you can convert to 10 over 60, 10 meter per 60 seconds, or maybe you can just write down 20 meter over 2 times 60, right, which is 20 over 120, and then because the 2 minutes is equivalent to 2 times 60 seconds, so you can write the answer as 20 over 120 after simplify is 1 over 6 meter per second. Alright, be careful with the unit. Okay, I've highlighted to you many times the unit is very important. So I think that's all for my sharing for the new format of the SPM 2021. So right, I think that's all for today's lesson. That's the end of the lesson. So okay, I shall see you in my next video teaching. Alright, until here, have a nice day. Bye bye.